I'm Per Eriksson. So here we are in South Africa, just outside the little village of Stellenbosch, not too far away from Cape Town. And we're at the wine estate, Vrede. And we're here to meet with the chef at the restaurant at Vrede, Fabio Daniel. And we're here to find out how he links his dishes to the heritage of the wine estate Vrede. Let's meet Fabio and his team and see how they create dishes out of the South African produce and products. If you were to explain for somebody that's never been here and eaten your fantastic food about your style of cooking, what would you say?
We are a French restaurant, but with a little bit of contemporary twist. Okay, as everybody know, I'm Brazilian with Italian heritage. We're trying to do at Vrede and offer a world-class experience. And so the food is playful, but also must keep the integrity of the state, of Vrede, that we want to offer a food and wine experience. You're going to get many influences when it comes to different styles of cooking, different techniques, different methods. The pinnacle of what I'm trying to achieve is to have a well-balanced plate of food with a perfect bottle of wine. So that's when they both come together, that's what we're trying to achieve.
Tell me a little bit about your background, being Brazilian and Italian, and how that started when you were young, getting into food.
Well, I never thought I was going to be a chef. Like I always say that chef chose me more than what I chose chefing, because I left Brazil when I was 24 years old. And of course, my family originally come from Italy. But growing up in Brazil, I never noticed how much of Italian influence we have till I went to Italy and experienced the country. So I left Brazil and I decided to go to travel. So I traveled for about 6 years with my wife all around the world because I was a traveler. So that was the only place I could find some work to finance my travels. And then one time in New Zealand, I was in New Zealand, and then my wife, she said oh, look like you're doing pretty well. Why don't you become a chef? Like I said, maybe that's a nice thing to do.
What in food was so interesting for you that you managed to become a great chef?
My cuisine is influenced by my travels. So traveling all around the world, it was always an experience of eating all the different kind of spices and cuisines all over. And the fact that I would travel for extensively in each country that I would stay, you're basically starting to adapt to the culture. And my wife as well, she was always very into the food and wine because she comes from South Africa. And when I met her, I was a Brazilian guy, just wanted to travel, and then basically she started educating me on wine, on matching of the food with the wine, and then it was such a great experience because it also the combination of wine and food.
Bringing the whole world to South Africa with a South African wife, as you say, has your culture background coming from Brazil, has that influenced your menus?
Again, I was French trained chef. All the chefs that work, they all have a French base. I cook more on my memory line than what actually is on books. The only way for you to make a unique experience is to bring a little bit of yourself in that, because those experiences nobody else had, as well as with the history of Vrede.
Where do you find the right produce or products to be able to create the dishes that you are talking about?
If you're driving here to Vrede, you're going to pass in front of citrus farms, strawberry farm, wineries, cattle farms, and if you just drive 20 meters, you're next to the ocean. I don't need to go any further than 20 kilometers to get everything that I need. Of course, here at Vrede as well, we don't try to limit ourselves. If you just go 15 kilometers just down the road here, we have a beautiful Wagyu beef farm. Mm-hmm. And if you just drive 15 kilometers, we have farms just a little bit outside Stellenbosch offering any kind of vegetables. there is an abundance of ingredients in South Africa that it really helps the whole the culinary scene in South Africa.
I understand that there's a big source of product and produce here. But how do you make selection? What are you looking for? Is it the texture, or is it the taste, or is it the history and the background of the growers, or what is leading you to find the right produce and product?
You know, if I'm going to look for a fish, I'm going to look if it's a sustainable fish. That's a start. If it's something that's not sustainable, it's not even a consideration. Same for vegetables, same for meat. Everything must be ethical. Here at Vrede, when we only do set menus, so it's a 4 or a 6 course, and in both of them, the idea is to make a balanced meal. My idea is that when you leave Vrede, you can pick one or another dish that you like the best, but the idea that you have like a good balanced meal. That's the idea behind of the menu and all the ingredients that we put it in.
As you know, the top chefs around the world are working under the concept of no waste kitchen and nose to tail eating. What's your take on that?
You know, these days you get so many beautiful parts of the vegetable or the fish or the meat that in the old days it wouldn't be accepted in a fine dining environment. But these days it's actually important to show the people what we can do with all those not so desirable parts. So here at Vrede, of course, we're trying to use all our leftover, like our peeled vegetables for a compost, or we make a stock with that, and we have a very interesting dish that is with seafood. So we use the meat of the prawn to make a dish, and with the shells we make a bisque. Everything out of the animal in one dish.
How do you pair your food with Vrede's wine?
Well, actually, we don't only pair our food for Vrede wine. If you see, our wine list has over 1,500 wines, and you can see here there's a little bit of some examples that what we normally try here at Vrede, what we're trying to showcase on our restaurant.
Yeah. But what's so special about the Vrede wines, and why do they mix really good with your food?
Well, Vrede is a state. One very important thing that, again, for myself being every day in a restaurant, all our vineyards are at Vrede state. So everything from the growing of the grapes till the final bottling, everything is done at Vrede.
So Fabio, now you got a fantastic restaurant here, very nice ambience, I must say. You got the wine around here, so you feel that you're sitting in the middle of history. It's always packed with people here. Tonight it's full, as I understand. It's hard to get table here. Where will you go from now? How will you develop the Vrede restaurant?
Over 12 years that the restaurant is open, we always been in a constant evolution. On our plate is to evolve. How can we evolve? We just discussed about sustainability, that 12 years ago it was just starting, now is a must. How to include the Stellenbosch society, but now we're trying to include all kinds of levels of the society. So that's my my take on evolution of. So keep on that and always trying to evolve.
If you were to give an advice to a young person that wants to become a chef like yourself, what would that be?
Believe in yourself.